Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing um quote unquote Big City Greens season 3 episode 17 called Virtually Christmas. And I already mentioned before when I was going over the trailers and stuff that this episode in timeline wise is part of season 2, and the season 2 Christmas episode is part of season 1 in the timeline. And this is technically supposed to be season 3 episode 17, but on I can't remember the name right now, but the platform for Big City Greens. Again, the name's slipping my mind, but of where Big City Greens along with other Disney content is on. Again, the name's slipping my mind. It's now ranked as not ranked, it's placed as episode 20, which I kind of understand why they did that, because this is technically not season 3. It's very weird. But again, I'm not gonna get into that whole hoopla again. I talk about that more when I was going over the trailers and stuff, I believe. But anyway, I just want to go over. I want to make this intro kind of short and kind of to the point. At the end of the review, I will go over my new subscribers, because I kind of want to make this intro kind of short. But that doesn't mean that I don't care about you guys and I don't appreciate your support, because I 100% do. By making this video, recording this later than usual, so I want to put my effort into the subscribers to the end of the video. So I know, kind of topsy turvy, but yes, for the first half of this week, I put out no content, and the main reason why is because once again, I was going over and studying for the exam that was coming up, and I took it. And again, I'm not gonna go into any details or anything, but basically, I'm gonna be honest, I was shocked that I'm not sure if this ever happened to you guys. Have you ever gotten a study material or study guide or something, and then and you study for weeks, a month, you're going over it, and then when you actually reach the actual exam, and again, I'm not gonna go into any specifics or any questions or what the subject is about, because that's not what this channel's about. But again, this channel is part of about my daily life, so I kind of want to get into it, not too much, but get into it. But basically, the gist is, I took the exam, and it isn't what I thought it was, and I really wish the study guide would have been more helpful. It seemed like the study guide that I reviewed would have been more helpful for another exam, of which I thought I was taking. Again, I'm not gonna get into any details, but I'm not gonna lie, because I'm an honest person, I was disappointed. I was disappointed when I was in the exam. You're looking at those questions. I was disappointed. I was disappointed after the fact. And the reason why I wasn't doing any videos, because I was kind of going through a bunch of emotions and stuff. I need to calm myself down, because especially this is a Christmas episode, because I was focusing. Okay, are my emotions gonna reflect this beautiful Christmas episode? If it is, then I'm gonna save it for another day, because I don't want to ruin this. I don't. So I was. Bottom line was yeah, I think it's gonna ruin it. So I need to calm myself down, and I need to do this another day. So, and that's what I'm doing. Okay. So was that everything? Yeah. Okay. So that was basically the gist for for the first half. The first half of the week, I was reviewing. Then I had the exam. Not what I thought it was. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I wanted to get the intro out of the way. And if you guys wondered, yes, I am doing fine now. The emotions have simmered down. I'm not as angry as I once was, and I'm doing okay. But I gotta tell you, oh man, but I'm good now. So let's get on with this great Christmas episode. And yeah, I kind of spoiled what I thought about this episode. It was great, but anyway, let's get on with it. Before we get to this VR headset with gloves, we first have the Green family singing, and we have them in their Christmas sweaters. We have Bill chopping down a tree, he has holding an axe, and you have Nancy and singing. We have Cricket singing. We have Tilly and Alice singing next to a tree, and everyone's just having a good time. And then basically Cricket is basically he was singing, but he's ready to go to Remington. And Bill's like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "Oh, I wanna play Outpost Infinity, like this VR game, so I can hang out with my best bud." And of course, kids won't want to do that, you know. But and obviously, Bill, like, he knows about video games, but he doesn't know exactly what VR is. Like, he has, I think, some understanding about technology because of Gwendolyn Zap with the whole cloning thing, but that's not exactly virtual reality. So, right, I need to look back in the episode if that was exactly virtual reality. It might have been AR. It might have been augmented reality. Again, that was the season 2 episode. I need to look back into it. So I think this is the first time that the Greens have experienced VR. But again, this is supposed to be in the time of season 2, so maybe this is supposed to technically come out before Mirror Greens, maybe? Again, I'm not sure. The whole timeline thing is messing with my brain. I need to calm down. Anyway, so and obviously Bill is trying to obviously Tilly, Allison, Tilly, Nancy is explaining to them, it's a augmented wait, say not augmented. Outpost Infinity is basically a VR game. And it's like, what was VR? And then Cricket's like, well, Dad, VR is basically virtual reality. It's so real. It's like real life. Like, and yeah, so and Bill's like, oh, I was spending Christmas Eve in a video game, but you won't be with us. And even Bill gets like so kind of clingy, not too clingy, but he's kind of poking his cheeks, and you even see like his gums. You see the pink. I'm like, ooh. And even Cricket's getting annoyed. I'm like, Bill, please stop. um. And they're basically talking, and then Bill's like, he's like, Cricket, I want you to be with us because like we do these Christmas traditions every year except for the season 1 timeline Christmas episode because everyone went their separate ways because remember Nancy and Alice went to go find a Christmas gift for Bill. And Bill wanted to do the Christmas traditions, but since everyone left, he decided to watch those Christmas like shorts animations. I think one was like about a candy cane or something, and Cricket was trying to ruin Christmas, and Tilly was trying to save it, and everyone blamed Tilly. It was a whole thing. So like they weren't able to celebrate their Christmas Eve traditions, so that's why you're thinking, oh, that's kind of weird they just brought this up and they didn't do it in the previous Christmas episode. Is because everyone went their separate ways and everyone was kind of doing their own thing. No one really came together. This time now they're all together, and especially with those other episodes backing this up of Nancy and Alice having their arcs and them becoming more familiar with each other. This like makes sense of why they're more together. Not really, they are competing, they're still competitive with each other, but it's like better now. But yeah, so Bill's like hesitant. He even showed like a Christmas album of he's oh you're my little Christmas yeah, you're my little Christmas elf, you Cricket Christmas elf. And he even showing like a photo album of Cricket yawning but putting the tree topper on the tree. And then Cricket said, you see, you even having me do it as a baby. I was born doing this. Like, would it be so bad if I miss 1 year? And then Bill's like, you want to miss 1 year? And I understand both perspective. Cricket's a kid. He wants to hang out with his best friend. I understand that. And, back. And obviously Bill wants to spend as many Christmases as he can with his family, and so I kind of understand both sides. And what was it? Oh right, and basically a Cricket comes to. I'm glad that Cricket wanted to compromise. I like that because Cricket is basically saying we do this Christmas traditions every year, but you know what, Dad? I'll tell you what. How about this? I will spend for like most of the day, most of the early morning, because it's early in the morning right now. Um, and I will spend at Remy's house, and I'll play Opus Infinity, but I'll promise I'll make it back in time for baking cookies and decorating them. Like, okay, and then Bill's like, oh well, okay, but but please, he even admits himself. He even admits to himself like, oh dang, the boy's got a point. He's like, okay, go. And I don't like this where Bill's basically trying to explain like, oh, how Christmas traditions are wonderful, and Cricket's like, oh, Maria at the door, bye. And Bill's like, oh, okay, whatever. I kind of wish Cricket would say for what Bill had to say. Like, I don't think it would have took too long. I know he's a kid, but so this kind of it kind of bugs me a little bit. Come on, Cricket, just stay for like a few more seconds. Come on. And you basically have Cricket going to Remy's mansion, and we see Remy, we see Vasquez placing the reindeer along with Santa in a sleigh. We have Remy's parents. And obviously, Remy's basically correcting Vasquez, like, oh, this is the order, like, not that order. And then he tried to, I'm not sure, do a prank. Vasquez is sometimes so emotionless, you can't tell, like, what he's thinking. Because he put, I guess, Cupid in front, and he's like, you're putting Cupid in front? Oh, Vasquez, you a holiday prankster, but fix it. So I'm like, was Vasquez trying to do a prank? Was he? I'm not sure I really got it. It didn't like offend me. Like it made me hate the episode or anything. Like no, it didn't. But I don't know. That was kind of weird. Like was Vasquez trying to prank them? This Cricket brings up later in the episode, around the end of the episode, like oh Vasquez, you did it again. Like he done this before. It, hmm. I don't know. It makes me think. Did Vasquez Senior? I know, bringing him up again. Did Vasquez Senior do the same thing, like a Christmas prank? Is this like the Vasquez tradition or something? Who knows? Um. Let's see. Oh right, and basically, Cricket. We see everyone in their their kind of snowsuits and sweaters and stuff, and Cricket's oh hey Remy, oh hey Cricket, and they're giving the big hugs. I love it. And he said, "Oh, you're ready for gaming time?" And he said, "Oh, Cricket, where were you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it took me so long. Oh, my dad was basically explaining the whole importance about Christmas Eve traditions." And then Remy's like, "Oh, we don't have those. Oh, we save everything for like the big day itself." And then Cricket's like, "Exactly. Christmas stuff is meant for the Christmas day, and Christmas Eve is all about gaming." I mean, people would have different opinions on that, but this is Cricket's opinion, which is totally fine for a kid who's he's 11. He's 11, right? Yeah, he's 11, and with Remy being 10, it's totally fine. And I like how Remy's parents feel responsible for Cricket, and I love that because like when you're when like your sons or your children's friends are over and you're the host of the house, you would be responsible because we usually like don't really like like really get this perspective where Rochelle was Remy's mom was like, "Oh, Cricket, are you sure you want to say? Oh, the snow. It seems like it's gonna get kind of worse, and we don't want you caught in the blizzard." He's like, "Oh, snow, schmo, it'll be fine." And Rochelle's like, "Okay." And then they go into the virtual reality world, and we have the theme song. It's pretty cool. And we basically have them playing it. We don't know how many hours, but it's been a while. And they open, and then Crick's like, "Okay, it's time for me to head back." And Remy's like, "Oh, you have to go now." He's like, "Yep." I promised my dad. I do like this. Crick's like, "I promised my dad. We made a deal." And it's important to him that I come back and so we can start baking the cookies and decorating them. And I can't miss my important job of placing the top of the tree. And this was our deal, and I'm gonna own up to it. I love that. Cricket's showing initiative because he could say, "Oh, maybe I can stay 5 more minutes," because he's like a kid. No, he's gonna own up his end of the deal. Great, but he didn't count upon the storm and him not listening to Rochelle's warning of a possibility of a blizzard. And she wasn't 100% sure there was gonna be a blizzard. Like she's not a weather woman or anything, but she was like suspecting it. But Cricket didn't listen because again, he's a kid. So him not taking Rochelle's warning seriously or possible warning, it had consequence, and I do like that. And he's like, And the Remy's like, oh, Cricket, look, oh no, it's a blizzard. And he's like, oh no, oh, Dad's gonna be so upset. No, he's just gonna say something like, and then we cut the Bill mixing dough, a cookie batter, and he just has the phone in his arm. He's like, dang it, Cricket, I knew you going to Remy's mansion playing video games would have been a mistake. Is it now? How are we supposed to do our Christmas Eve traditions? And then your Cricket is basically like I even like how Bill's like, wait, like y'all, like no one's decorating any cookies until Cricket comes back. And everyone's like, oh, I even forgot to mention, because when I was remembering that scene, I remember Nancy and Alice being particularly disappointed. But there was one part like before Cricket went off to Remy's mansion, where Nancy and Alice, I like how they were getting competitive. Like there's the find the fruitcake, like part of the Christmas Eve traditions, and what happened? Oh, right. So they were playing find fruitcake, and there was a point where Nancy's like, oh, I found it, and then Nancy's like, Alice is like, I find it every year, and Nancy's like, well, what about last year when I found it? It's like, oh, you know what I remember? My fist in your teeth, and they're like wrestling. I didn't like that too much. I like how they're competitive, but I don't like actually physical like wrestling. I don't know. I thought it was too much. But so I took a note. I took a point off for that. I just forgot to mention it. But anyway, so Bill's kind of worried that Cricket won't make it for the Christmas Eve traditions because he's stuck in a blizzard. Like, well, not blizzard. It's like snowed in basically. And then your Remy's basically gives spoilers like, oh, you should just use the VR set. Like you should have played Outpost Infinity from your house, and we could have still interacted like through the VR headset, and you wouldn't be stuck here. Not then you could have done your Christmas Eve traditions with your family. And then Olio Cricket mentioned like, oh, we can't afford a VR headset. Heck, we can't even afford R. Wow. And then Remy Speedy says, oh, I was wanting to I wish you could have opened this during Christmas Day because I really wanted to surprise you, but I basically ordered Vasquez to secretly break into your house and to leave the gift here. Like you have a VR headset in your house, and this is basically it. Where they yeah, I've been talking for a long time, and they basically like open it, and they basically Cricket explains to his dad, like, Dad, this is perfect. We can have our Christmas traditions in virtual reality, and maybe even better. And even till he's like, oh, Papa, please, so Cricket can be with us, so we can do our Christmas Eve traditions, so it can be just like home. And then Bill's like, okay, Cricket, I'm gonna trust you. And they're putting on their goggles, and the Bill's kind of hesitant, but like he's like, okay. And everyone just looks so good, and and we have Cricket's like, oh, he's basically explaining what Outpost Infinity is, and I want to play this right here. A totally customizable virtual reality. Within this game, we can build our house and do all this looks so great. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt Remy right there to go coming in for his landing. But yeah, Cricket basically said that this is a virtual reality world where we can customize things, and so this is where we're gonna do our Christmas Eve traditions. And best part of all, we'll all be together. And even Remy's like, but this year you have me. And then he just in this Hulkbuster outfit, and the dome kind of reminds me of like an astronaut helmet, also pretty cool. And then Bill's like, is that you, Remy? He's like, yep, I'm Mr. Green. Like, he's explained his ability, just doesn't understand. Like, I have all the XP, I have all the upgrades. I played this game a lot. Yeah, I bet, Remy. I bet you didn't start with a Hulkbuster outfit. And then Bill's like, Cricket, how are we supposed to do Christmas Eve traditions here? And he's like, oh, this is a building game. And he's like, automatically building things. And then Bill's like, I didn't even get to use any power tools. He builds loves building. And I was like, oh, what does this tool do? It's a flamethrower. I love it. And she accidentally almost burns Nancy, and then she's like, "Oh, you're not the only one with a weapon." And then Tilly's like, "I love how Tilly is chaotic, but she loves peace too. She loves war and peace." Tilly's like, "There's no need for violence, but if there was, I'd totally win." And then Bill's like, flamethrower, a spear. Tilly has a giant axe because the axe like expanded in size. And it was like, I have like a giant hammer. What type of game is this? And Remy basically explains that, oh, this is a game where we had to use our courage and wit to defeat. And Cricket's like, boredom. So we can defeat boredom. And we can use these big tools. And then Bill's like, I never used a hammer this big before. And it's like, yeah. So so let's begin. And and everyone's giving it like a try to start building things and to get this virtual reality world to try. And we have Crick here trying to talk to Remy. Basically the gist of like what's happening here.
If my dad finds out what kind of game this really is, he'll never get on board with us and our Christmas Eve traditions in here. That's why I need you to patrol the perimeter and keep any you-know-whats away from my family. Oh,
So so please no copyright. But I know I kind of I wanted to get like the play-by-play of like what basically Cricket and Remy are talking about because I'm not sure if I can do the scene justice. But Cricket's basically saying to Remy like, "Hey, Remy, here's the plan. Look, if my family, especially my dad, find out about what this game actually is, he will never be on board. And like we and, and and there's no other way for us to have our Christmas Eve traditions. So I'm gonna spend time with my family, but I need you to patrol the perimeter and keep the what's out." And I like how Remy's like, "Oh, Cricket, my Cricket, it will be my privilege and my pleasure," and he just signs off, and then, well, not signs off. He doesn't get offline, but he just blasts away. And we have this more metallic version of the Green family house, and that's pretty cool. Hey, it's like our house. And Bill's like, no, not really. And Cricket's like, well, here you go. And now we have the classic look with like the more brown roof and the red and the green. It's more Christmassy, and it's also more of the Green family house. It looks great. And and then they basically so someone says like, oh, a deal. And we had this like this options extras guy, and like, oh, this is Mr. Extras. Oh, you can get this candy cane gun. And then Crick explains that this is Mr. Extras, and like, he would just tries to give you junk that's way overpriced. And I like how everyone has their own plots. Tilly's plot is to show the Mr. Extras right here the meaning of Christmas that doesn't have to come from a store, basically. So Cricket, plot point is to try to have So I would say the A plot is Cricket and Bill trying to their best to spend time together and have their Christmas Eve traditions. um I would say the B plot will be Nancy and Alice. To see who can find the fruitcake first. There's a C plot with Remy trying to defend the greens from the monsters, basically. And there's a D plot with Tilly trying to show Mr. Extras the true meaning of Christmas that doesn't come from a store. So we kind of come back to A plots, B plots, C plots, and D plots. And you know what? It works for this episode. Like, there isn't like a plot line that goes like, on for too long. I guess my least favorite would be maybe the Nancy and Alice one, but it isn't bad by any means. So the other ones are really good. And he's like, oh, Mr. Extras, like, oh, do you want to spend Christmas with us? And he's like, how about I share with you a cool deal about these stockings? And then tell you, okay, we'll work on that. And we hear like a big roar, and Bill's like, "What was that?" And then Cricket says, "Oh, Remy must have the tummy troubles. I'm gonna go see how he's doing." And we basically have Remy, kicking butt, and Yeah, this is pretty cool. That looks so cool. Sorry, I wanted to play the action scene more than the dialogue, because since the last Cricket and Remy dialogue, I basically almost got the full version. I kind of skipped over like the whole Remy talking to Cricket part before he like flew away, but I kind of wanted to get like the aspect of Remy with like his Hulkbuster outfit and the lasers and his sword and I like how the snowmen were kind of jumping onto each other to and with a basically kind of like a candy cane spear. I love that. That's so cool. And then Cricket's telling him, "Hey, buddy, you doing alright?" It's like he's like, "Yeah." He Cricket even mentioned, "Oh, that's a lot of monster guts on you." It's like, "Oh my goodness, it's tinsel and confetti." That's awesome. He's like, "Yeah, and it's pretty cool that oh my goodness, that Remy looks so weird there." Wait, hold on. Okay, there we go. I want to get a better view. But um, what did he say? Oh right. Chris said, "Oh, there's a bunch of monster cards on your pal." And then Remy said, "Yeah, but the Christmas edition, this edition, allows the monster cards to be more Christmas themed. So now it's all tinsel, and so it's less gory and more festive. So I'm assuming there must be like a Halloween version of this, and it's blood." Because this show isn't just doesn't shy away from blood. So yeah, I must that must be like so bloody and gory if there's like a Halloween version of this. And so you're gonna be okay defending these guys. And Remy's like, yeah, for now. But Cricket, you have to understand that the monsters gonna get much harder. And like, you would see the monster coming, and it's like Cricket's like, what are we talking about? It's like, yeah, I haven't shown you the game this far because like they had to stop playing the game. They had to pause because Cricket knew that he had to get back to his family to start the cookie baking. So they weren't like finished with their game like at all. They were kind of what will it be like halfway through? I think a quarter halfway through. Um, and Cricket said, "Oh my goodness, I had to hurry my family so our Christmas traditions aren't crushed." And and then I'm just gonna leave it on that frame. And so basically, Cricket tries to speed through the traditions, and it kind of goes slow pace, but kind of amps up a bit, and more and more and more. And we basically have, Cricket is like, let's start the Christmas decorating. Even Nancy says, "Oh, hey, Shug, what's the rush?" She says, "Oh, there's no rush, Mom. We just need to, get started on that baking." So they, bake the cookies, and it's baked, and now they're putting the icing on. Nancy and Alice are having like a icing food off. Tilly keeps on talking to Mr. Extras, and like, "Oh, you want to help us decorate the cookies?" And he's like, "Oh, I can help you save 50% off on this deal," and all that junk. And and even Bill made like a pretty cool snowflake on the cookie, but the icing that Nancy and Alice were throwing got on the cookies. "You ruined my masterpiece," and Ed was almost gonna get started an argument, and Craig's like, "We don't have time for an argument." For even one to start or to finish. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. So Craig's like, "Okay, first tradition's done. I think we decorated enough cookies and threw enough icing." And even I was kind of like, "Yeah, okay." Because Bill was gonna get really upset because his cookie got ruined. So tradition number two, and we had to hide the fruitcake. And he's like, "Okay, Dad, you need to hide the fruitcake. Use one of the options, and yep, good luck, and we'll stand over here." And Bill's like, "Okay, hide the fruitcake." And so he basically like an option, get fruitcake, and there's actually an option for the fruitcake. There's obviously different colors, but there's also camouflage mode. And yeah, so when you kick it, you can obviously feel it, but when it goes into the ground, it's completely invisible because it blends into the snow. That's awesome. And it feels like, "Oh, no one's gonna find it this year. They're gonna have a difficult time." So he hides it, and everyone's trying to find it. Obviously, this is mainly reflecting on Nancy and Alice, and more of the snow monsters are getting closer, and and even Alice spots one like, what the heck is that? And and one of the monsters almost knocks out Alice, but she like slips, and Cricket like takes him off, takes him out with like his crossbow, his like mini crossbow, and he's like a little archer, um, and like he basically defends off the monsters. Alice and Nancy getting more into arguments and stuff, and even Bill's like, oh, like it's time for you to like hide to find the fruitcake until you you're getting warmer, warmer, oh colder, colder. Even Bill at one point he's like, where did I hide that fruitcake? And he's like, and Rem's like, oh, Cricket, you guys are done. Oh, we're on the second tradition. It's like, oh, okay, how many traditions are there? There's three, or like three and a half, because singing the Green Family song and then putting a tree topper, I guess can maybe be separated into two traditions, maybe, or like a tradition and a half, but basically three main traditions. And he's like, okay, you have to hurry the second one up. Like the monsters are, like, some of them squeaked through. Most of them are still back there, but a couple went back here. But thank goodness you took care of them. Oh, some of them were coming. I had to go. And he's like, oh, Dad, you hid the fruitcake really good this year. What am I gonna do? Cricket, just this might be cheating, but you really have a choice here. Just duplicate the fruitcake, and that won't know the difference. Oh, Remy, you're smart. And he's like, okay, you try to defend off the monsters as best as you can. I'll go reveal the fruitcake. Okay, sounds like a plan. And Remy goes off, goes off blasting. Cricket duplicates the fruitcake, and it's like, I found it. And even Bill's like, oh wait, how did you find it? And it's like, oh look, I just hit it at a really good hiding spot, Dad. And it's time for the third tradition. And I just love the third tradition. It just feels of how Cricket was rushing like the first two. This just feels beautiful. I guess he was kind of rushing through like the lights, but Bill was taking a long time. Like color lights, white lights, color lights, white lights. Pref- I guess I prefer like the multicolor because I just love colors, but the white lights are also good too. Like, I've seen them on trees before. It's a really good like when you look at a tree. I know maybe some people might disagree, but I do like the white lights, and but I do prefer multicolor usually, and um let's see what happens next. All right, it is very peaceful. They dim down the lights and they sing their song, and they're all together. I love it, and it's like, oh, and even how Bill and Cricket are kind of paralleling each other by saying, this is kind of growing on me, and they say, oh, Cricket, I know you don't like to do all these old the dusty traditions that we do every year. And Cricket's like, it's starting to grow on me. And then Bill's like, you know what, Cricket, since you admit that, this virtual reality game, it's growing on me. And I love how they're kind of bonding over that. I love it so much. And he said, hey, my little crick miss elf, your cricket Christmas. Like, you have time for your important job. And Cricket seems really excited. Oh, I get to put the chopper, I did not chopper. I gotta put the topper in the tree. And Cricket seems really excited. He's about to do it. And I was like, oh. But I'm like, there's more episode left. What's happening? And of course, at the right moment, Remy, somehow he fit in his Hulkbuster outfit. And I know I keep mentioning Hulkbuster, but it just looks like that. And I don't want to say astronaut outfit because he's not in space. Anyway. And saying robot just sounds like too generic. He just goes inside the house. Somehow he fits. He's like, they're gonna take us out alive. And everyone just immediately cricket. Okay, what's going on? Yeah, you're fun. We had fun, but what's going on? And he's like, okay. You're gonna laugh. And Alice is like, cricket. And he's like, okay. This is a building game. Yes. And I was like, spill it, boy. Yeah, you're wasting time. Like, what's the threat coming? And he's like, this is also a monster battle that destroys eats the players and destroys the house, and then we start all over again. He's like, what? And then like, and then yeah, and Bill's like, oh, I knew you couldn't be trusted to send this video game to have family traditions, and is oh sure we can. We just had to fight off monsters, and then Bill mentions like, no, us fighting monsters on Christmas Eve just shows how different virtual reality is from actual reality. And I don't like how Bill interrupted Cricket. I know he wanted to make a point. I was even like saying like, yeah, that was Cricket's original intention, I believe. Like, even if he did want to come back as Word, his original intention was to play video games with Remy on Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day he would spend the day with his family. That was Cricket's plan, his original plan. But then when he made his deal with his dad, it kind of, it was tweaked a little bit. But his original plan was just to play video games with Remy. Bill totally calls him out. But I didn't like how I wish Bill would have let Cricket had the time to explain himself, because even Cricket's like, Dad, please let me explain. But Bill just interrupts and says, like, no, like, the real deal is that my son wanted to bail on us and Chris even just to play a video game. And like, yeah, 100%. But I didn't like how Bill interrupted him. I know Bill wanted to make a point. I know there's a bunch of monsters going around, but I just felt like, oh, Bill, I kind of wish you wanted to hear him out, and then you would have said that. But where Cricket's like, oh, I know I messed up, but I really, I really do want to spend time with you guys. I realize that now. And Bill said, nonetheless, your original intention was to bail on us. I think that still had the same impact without interrupting Cricket, and both would have had both sides. But anyway, and so they're getting surrounded by monsters, and Cricket's basically like, guys, I know I messed up, but we can defeat these monsters together. I'm glad that you guys are here with me. So let's bash some monsters. So we get a chance to actually spend Christmas Eve actually as a real family. Like, I know I messed up, but will you guys help me? It was like, I like I tell you, I'm your ride and die brother. And then Nancy and Allison like yeah, let's do it. And then I like how Craig said, hey Dad, are you with me? And Bill thinks about it. He's like, okay, son, we'll bash the monsters. And like he's like, as a family. And I forgot to mention this because I just kind of forgot. When they were doing like the whole tree lighting thing, Tilly actually it was like sunset. It was actually really beautiful. He was talking to Mr. Extras, and he's like, "Oh, Mr. Extras, you're never gonna change. I hope in your algorithm you can have a Merry Christmas." And it sends off. I like how his like smile kind of twisted into like a frown, and he just like, oh, floated off. And so everyone's I like the moment from the trailer where Alice goes out of the house screaming, and then Bill's like, you might take away our virtual lives, but you won't take our family traditions. I love that. Everyone's bashing the monsters. Everyone's doing a great job, but more and more are coming. We have that huge one that was disguised as the mountain. Oh, looks beautiful. And of course the monster guys look like confetti everywhere. Could you imagine all the blood? Jeez. And more monster guys, and they're just bashing and bashing and bashing. Everyone looks great, and so, oh, what are we gonna do? We can find the little ones, but this big one, what are we gonna do? Because the flamethrower doesn't work on him. It's like not effective, or at least it's melting him like slowly. And it's like, we need extra. And then Mr. X's like, do you need me? And of course Mr. Extra came back, and like that came back full circle. It's like, we need something. Like it tells Mr. Extra, what do you got for that thing? And he's like, how about the candy cane bazooka? And then like you get like one shot in the target. And sorry, I'm trying to think of what happens next. Right. Okay. Sorry. I was getting kind of sidetracked by something else. I'm sorry. But I like how Remy said, "Okay, fine. Take my XP. There should be more than enough." And yep, all his XP is just gone. And yep, they had the candy cane bazooka. And then Remy's like, "Oh, Cricket, be careful!" But like, he was just so anxious just to defeat the monster because it was about to attack his family. And then poof, the whole candy cane big blast. It was huge and really powerful. Missed the monster, and then the monster, oh, he's mad. And tells you, oh, he does not look happy. And it's like, you only get one shot, Cricket, and what do it do now? You have to wait for it to charge, but it does charge relatively quickly. It doesn't take too long. and everyone was trying to fight over the candy cane blaster. I'll even like have the snow minions, like kind of like behind Cricket, are trying to get the candy cane bazooka also, and everyone's fighting over it. And the monster, your skin trying to get it. It goes into the house, and Alice is like, it's in the house, and it's like halfway to like a almost fully charged, and they go in, and I like how Bill got the candy cane bazooka. It's like, he's like, oh, goodbye, monster. I forgot the line he said, and boom, blasted in the chest, and the monster just done, and everything's finished, as so they think. And everyone's cheering them on, and it says, oh, well done, everyone. And, like, it's like, oh, I said, oh, hey, I'll just spend Christmas Eve with the Remingtons since it's so snowed in. But I'll try to get home as quick as I can so we can spend Christmas Day together. But that doesn't mean that you guys can actually have your actual your reality Christmas Eve traditions in the real world. You guys can celebrate without me. It's fine. And I was like, oh, why don't we rebuild this place? And then Remy explains that this is a wave type of game, and like yeah, I forgot like the snow monster when it got like defeated, like landed on the house basically, and and then like oh man, our Christmas Eve tradition is ruined. And Bill actually has an idea. What if we actually make a new Christmas Eve tradition, bashing monsters? And that's actually pretty cool. How Bill kind of compromised. So like, what do you say to that, son? And Cricket's like, oh great, but he's kind of not into it. It's kind of like a flip. How Bill was so against about virtual reality, and Cricket isn't against virtual reality, but he's kind of going more traditional, while Bill's kind of going more virtual reality. That's pretty cool. Kind of like a nice kind of switch. And and so like, okay, come on, Greens, let's go. And they're fighting out the monsters, and Craig said, I hate to say it, I wish it was with my family in real life to celebrate Christmas Eve and do the traditions. He can't believe himself, but he's like, and if I can't place the top round on the tree in the virtual world, I have to do in the actual world. And we have like Cricket on a little adventure. He takes off his goggles. He goes through the window. He actually puts on his boots and his beanie, not beanie, like his hat and his jacket and his gloves. And he goes out and poof, he lands in the snow. He goes on the roof and he just before he even like takes off the reindeer, he's like, Cupid in front of Vasquez, you Christmas prankster. So I'm like, was he intentionally trying to prank them? I don't know. Who knows? So he pushes all the reindeer off. He shoves Santa to the side of the. He doesn't throw Santa off, but he just shoves him a little bit, and he's like, "Move, Santa! I'm driving." And sorry, your reindeer had to take the night off, but I'm with you. And he's like, "I'm Cricket. I'm Cricket. I'm Cricket." And he just goes on a big joyride, but not joyride intentionally. This was kind of weird how there was Christmas glass, but instead of the glass breaking, did this, and it knocked off Santa's head and goes onto a snowman that Benny was making. Oh, that's pretty cool. We get to see Benny, but then Benny said, "My dream has come true," and I'm like, is this supposed to be like a Frosty the Snowman reference of like how Frosty came true? Is this supposed to be like a snowman version of Santa coming true? Because we haven't really heard about Benny saying that like, oh, I love Santa or I want a snowman Santa before. Never really mentioned, but Christmas ahead of Santa went on to like a snowman. And Benny's like, my wish has come true. So I'm like, what does that mean? So I'm kind of suspecting he wants like a Santa version of Frosty the Snowman, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? And and basically the the Christmas sleigh, Santa sleigh crashed onto the roof. He goes into to the house. He takes off his coat, his boots, his gloves, his hat. He's like, Dad. Oh, because even in the virtual reality game, Bill's like, wait, where's Cricket? And then he's like, Dad. He's like, oh, Cricket, I can't see you. Oh, take off your goggles. What goggles? He's like, oh, right, I forgot. And he takes off his goggles and everyone else, and he's like, oh, Cricket. And it's like, oh, what are you doing? And it's like, I know you wanted to do the new traditions, but I just couldn't help but wanting to do those old traditions with you guys, and I wanted to place the topper on the tree, and everyone's like, "Aw," and they all hugged together. Someone's knocking furiously on the door. I'm like, "Who's that?" And they open it. It's the one of the snow monsters, but no, it's actually Vasquez. And yeah, the Remingtons are here. We have Russell, we have Rochelle, we have Remy, and we have Vasquez. And it's like, oh, what are you guys doing? Oh, the snow finally let up. That's pretty convenient, but it's fine. I didn't mind it. Oh, the snow finally let up. It's still kind of snowy out there, but it's not that bad. And we knew Cricket was out here trying to find you guys, and we just had to find him. I love that. And then your Cricket's like, oh, like since you guys are here, since you don't have any Christmas Eve traditions on your own how about you celebrate with us? And then even Remy's kind of excited about it. Uh, Both Remy and Cricket influence their lives, and for better or worse, but mostly for the better. And they're, oh, can we? And I thought this was kind of interesting. Rochelle's like, oh, I don't know. Like, what do you think, hun? Uh, um, but before Russell could answer, Vasquez just gets in the way, saying, "We would love to." I'm like, is Vasquez kind of getting defiant? Because we had in Study Abroad where Vasquez was, so eager to see Remy, he literally shoved and pushed the people who he works for, Remy's parents, is onto the ground. And they kind of played off as oh, Vasquez is really excited. But I'm like, these are the people who you're working for. And then now you're about to say the answer of. Rochelle wasn't asking Vasquez. He was asking her husband. She was asking Russell. So, and then Vasquez just answered for him. I'm like, are we getting like an arc of Vasquez getting defiant or something? Is Vasquez going to get fired, like for real fired? Is that what's happening? Obviously, didn't fire him here now. He obviously didn't fire him like right here, right now. But I'm like, it, hmm. I don't know, Consuelo, what do you think? Am I going crazy, or is Vasquez gonna get fired? Like that's two now. I'm not gonna take a point off because I'm kind of wondering, is this gonna be set up for him getting fired or something, getting sacked? Who knows? But so everyone's kind of singing now, and Cricket finally puts the topper in the tree. And they had the lights and stuff, and it just ends with Santa's sleigh just stuck on Green's roof, crashing into the middle of the room. We didn't see it, but we can assume it because it was in the middle of the roof. And Bill says, Cricket! He's upset because it might have ruined the tree or something. And that's the end of the episode. And 80%, 8 out of 10, solid B. I had a great time. This was a great episode. Great, you know, Christmas special episode. I love. Well, I love it. But I thought this was great. It was a great, solid beat. Again, not perfect, not fantastic, but it was great. It was a great time. And oh right, I also want to mention I thank you so much to my 193rd and 194th subscribers. Yes, I have reached 194 subscribers, so thank you so much. Thank you so much to my new subscribers, my current subscribers, and my original subscribers. Thank you so much to my original viewers, my current viewers. Viewers just come on and off, and my subscribers just come on and off. I really appreciate all you guys, and yeah. So hopefully reach 195, before August, yeah. So everyone, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. Give me a big thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to check out my mini reviews and my community posts. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for my review on Big City Greens Season 3, Episode 18. First half is called Honey Heist, which does have a clip. And the second half is called Dog for Mayor, which doesn't have a clip. Yeah, that's episode 18. Yeah, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for that. Okay,